He could have flashbacks from the war, remembering pals that collected ears, buddies that were tortured and found with their genitals stuffed in their mouths. This transformation into mind control should be developed mostly in scenes at night. Could be like wild dreams, spooky stuff, but no animation, none of the little rubber creatures. This can be kept low budget and still be scary. Also, maybe he could fixate on something in the room, some picture or object to help teleport himself. Maybe some knick-knack or ornament on the wall, something like a plastic bird, or some pretty scene, a landscape he can fly away to in his brain. When torso is really in deep self, the lights could change. Rooms start to glow, maybe even become another kind of room, Japanese maybe, with the nurse there naked with him, and him having all his parts. Hollywood stuff. A funny scene might be with the guy who has the family grocery store. He's waiting on some woman customer, and when Torso is thinking about touching the Japanese nurse's breast, the grocery store guy who has Torso's real arm just suddenly reaches out and grabs a customer's breast. Maybe the nurse could come to his brain at night and instruct him on the best methods of mind over matter. All this while, the brutalizing is still going on. The aunt and the cousin are really getting into every terrible thing they can imagine to mess with him, so he's getting pretty banged up. Also weak from not being fed anything but rotten scraps and gruel. They just throw it on the floor, and he has to scoot over to it, however far or awkward. Throw his body around, twist and wiggle, contort to get to it. And of course it's laying right there with his body waste that have built up into piles of filth for months and months. Now and then they have cleaned the place, just to keep the smell from making the neighbors suspicious. One night he gets the full realization that this is not going to end until they kill him. He hears them in his mind talk about how the government never checks on him and would never know if he was dead. They just keep sending money. And if they did ever ask about him later, he could always pick up another quad at the VA, or make one, ha ha ha, the cousin says. Lots of drifters and dipshit hitchhikers out there on American highways.
This whole thing should be filmed on location in Las Cruces or Lordsburg, New Mexico, or similar places like Nevada, barren, desolate towns, ugly deserts. A real quad amputee should play the lead, actual vet if possible. It could be a known actor though. Use a real quad in the cutaways and distance shots. Punkers would be very alien in this locale, but they could be Southwesternized. Lots of snakeskin and rawhide, conchos. Punkers with the Mexican influence. Right on the edge of slimy road warrior types. Like people you'd run into maybe at a B-52's concert in El Paso. Pick up that element at the box office.
When he realizes they're going to kill him, he decides to send out his brain waves as hard as he can for some arms and legs. He still doesn't know his war buddies are alive or that they carry his limbs. But he sends out this very heavy message calling for the lost parts of himself. Those special effects where they make veins bulge and throb could be used here, like his whole torso is rippling with ultimate energy. He could probably glow, too. When the message reaches the men with his limbs, it's like they become zombies, possessed. They stop whatever they are doing and make arrangements to go to New Mexico. This creates big confusions for those around him, loved ones. But they are oblivious, don't say a word. They get their uniforms and put them on. A lot of good scenes here. Little fast scenes of showing how drastic they are being sucked to this weird place. They all arrive at the same time, and though none of them knew the others were alive, each acts like it is a perfectly natural thing. They group in full uniform like robots and head for whatever rendezvous is drawing them. Meanwhile, the power in the torso's room is tremendous now. He has sealed it off. The aunt or cousin can't open the door, and weird light is glowing from the bottom of it. Even the walls seem to be bulging out from all the power going on in there.